Psalm 2, KJV. 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, 3. Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. 5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. 9. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. 10. Be wise now, therefore, O the kings. Be instructed, the judges of the earth. 11. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. 12. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Psalm 2 opens not with peace, but with a question that echoes through history. Why do the nations rage? Why do people conspire in vain? The world rises up again and again, fists clenched, hearts proud, trying to overthrow God's authority. Rulers plot, leaders align, voices grow louder, all in rebellion against the Lord and his anointed, his chosen king, the Messiah. We see this in ancient times. We see it in our headlines today. Humanity pushes against God's boundaries, calls his commands chains to be broken. Let us cast off their cords, they cry, as if God's love, mercy, and order were a burden. But what does heaven do? He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, not out of mockery, but because man's rebellion is futile. God is not shaken by earthly power. He is not caught off guard by politics, war, or prideful schemes. He sits calmly, sovereignly above it all. And when the time comes, he will speak, and his word will shake the earth. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. God has already declared his plan. No rebellion can unseat the king. He has chosen. Zion, the sacred mountain, becomes the throne of the Messiah. And now we hear a voice, the voice of the Son. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my Son, this day have I begotten thee. These are the very words echoed at Jesus' baptism and transfiguration. This psalm doesn't just speak of David. It reaches forward to Jesus Christ, the true anointed one. He is the Son. He is the King. He is the one who will inherit the nations. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. The ends of the earth belong to him. Every nation, every people, every heart. And though he is gentle to the humble, he will break the proud like clay pots crushed by an iron rod. This is not cruelty. It is justice. It is the righteous rule of a perfect king. So now the tone shifts, not to wrath, but to invitation. Be wise now, therefore, O the kings. Listen, leaders. Listen, people of the earth. Be instructed. Don't resist the king. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. There is joy, yes, but a joy that knows his power. A joy that understands he is holy. And then comes the final call. Kiss the Son. In ancient times, kissing the king was a sign of loyalty, love, and surrender. To kiss the Son is to submit to Jesus Christ, to acknowledge him as your Lord and your Savior. It's a holy kiss of devotion, one that turns away wrath and opens the door to blessing. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Once again, as in Psalm 1, we are brought back to that word, blessed. But now The blessing is for those who trust the Son, who bow before him, who find in him not chains to break, but a king to follow, a savior to love, a refuge to hide in. Psalm 2 is not just prophecy, it is a plea. Choose your king wisely, for only one king has been set on Zion. And blessed, deeply, eternally, joyfully blessed, are all who put their trust in him. Psalm 3, KJV, a psalm of David when he fled from Absalom his son. One Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Too many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. Selah. 3. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of mine head. 4. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. Selah. 5. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. 6. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. 7. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God. For thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. 8. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. Selah. The third psalm takes us into one of the darkest chapters of David's life. His own son, Absalom, had turned against him. The palace was no longer safe. David was on the run, betrayed, hunted, abandoned by many. Can you imagine that pain? A father pursued by the very child he once held in his arms. David opens his heart to God with raw honesty. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Enemies are multiplying. Troubles are closing in. He feels outnumbered. He hears the voices. There is no help for him in God. They mock his faith. God's done with him, they whisper. Have you ever heard those voices? Maybe not out loud, but in the quiet of your despair, they speak. God won't help you. You're too far gone. He's not listening. But David does something powerful. He interrupts despair with truth. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me. The shift is immediate. The fear doesn't win. God becomes his defense, not just a barrier, but a shield surrounding him, covering him from every side. And more than that, my glory and the lifter up of mine head. When shame and sadness push our heads down, God reaches down and gently lifts our chin. Look at me, he says. I'm still here. I still love you. David's voice rises with faith. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. Don't miss this. Even while running for his life, David cried out, and God heard. Distance didn't matter. Danger didn't block the signal. Heaven responded. And now, perhaps the most astonishing part of the psalm. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. David was surrounded, hunted, heartbroken, and yet he slept. How? Because trust in God brings peace that no circumstance can touch. He laid his head down in a storm and woke up in the same storm, but sustained, still breathing, still standing. That leads him to boldness. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people. It's not that the danger is gone. It's that faith is greater. When God is your shield, even armies cannot shake you. He ends with a shout. Arise, O Lord. Save me, O my God. This is a battle cry of faith. David believes that the same God who once knocked enemies to the ground will rise again and deliver him. And finally, he declares a truth that echoes through all generations. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. Victory doesn't come from clever plans or strong weapons. it belongs to the Lord. And his blessing? It rests not on the proud or the powerful, but on his people, those who trust him, those who cry out, those who keep their heads lifted by his grace. Selah, pause and reflect.